So,
got it. Good stuff. All right, that's going to do it for hour one. For those of you listening on the pod, we'll see you on the other side for hour two. We're going to break down everything that happened on the defensive side of the ball at camp practice today. We appreciate y'all.
For those of you listening on the pod,
welcome into hour two. Emilio, man, doing his best Tim impersonation. I like it.
Trying.
So, Quay Walker, let's lead it off with this. And actually, Jacob, I'm going to play this in the background. Talk to everybody about what you were talking about with Nazir Stackhouse. If you guys haven't seen it, there's a video on YouTube, right, where they're interviewing him, and he's talking about the Ball King and all that good stuff. Jacob, you take it away, man. Tell us what they're referring to with the Ball King.
Yeah, I really wish Emilio would have seen this because I think he would have absolutely loved it. So if you go to the Packers' actual official YouTube page, channel, whatever you want to call it, you look at the Nazir Stackhouse interview. It's about 6 minutes long, around the 3-minute mark. They'll ask him, they were talking about how, first of all, he brings up how the 43, the differential that we talked about, how the Washington Redskins did it, I believe, in like 1984. That same year, Mark Murphy had 9 interceptions, which has absolutely helped that be an insane record that still has not ever been broken. So they said that's not just a number. We're actually talking about that. We are getting each other so hyped about that number that they want to make that a reality. You know, reach for the stars, you just might grab one. I think Michael Scott said that or something like that. And that's the mentality that they have. And it's not just the fact that they actually have like these lawfully unrealistic expectations and they just say that. So Coach Wendell, who is now considered the Ball King, he started off talking about people how they have, before they do the coaches meetings, he gets on stage, he'll show film of what they did in practice, who had good reps, who had bad reps. Then they'll show old school players like Peanut Tillman, old schools like Charles Woodson, guys that absolutely were
Charles so good
freaks at being able to absolutely punch the ball at the right time, right moment. Nazir went so far as to say that they went to the point now where he's got a siren where he'll, sound the alarm anytime there's a turnover. And it's progressed to the point where there's 3 basically GMs, basically fantasy GMs. They have Quay Walker, Rashawn Gary, and I want to say there was another one I can't remember off the top of my head here, but they have GMs who picked.
Quay was one.
Quay was one, and Rashawn was one.
X?
I can't remember what the other one. It's probably X, something like that. Where they have drafted players. So they all have teams competing against each other, where they're having like basically fantasy football style scoring, where they have everything from deflections, knockouts, tackles for loss, scoop and scores, all that kind of stuff. And he's like, it makes it more fun than any other coach I've ever been around. And he talked about it's a game within a game, but they also said that they understand why they're doing it. It makes them competitive within each other, but they also are literally honing and sharpening that absolute edge that they're going to take into the games. Of the fact that, we took the ball away quite a bit through the air. They were very disappointed in the fact that we didn't get enough punch outs, enough fumble recoveries. I would honestly, if I was a betting man, which I am, I would put some good money down on that. They are going to at least be a 20 plus, at least differential turnover this year, just because they are coaching it into them to a point where it's not just guys talking to a bunch of dudes that aren't listening. There's guys absolutely every day reiterating the fact that this is going to make our team better. And these guys are so competitive and having so much fun with it that it's become not a job. It's becoming like, it's like me and you and Clayton, if we were all going to play like Madden right now, you know what I mean? Like, and it was for like money, but not just money, but respecting rights and kind of like bragging rights. And if we could carry that into a tournament where all of us could be more successful, it just seems like it's the perfect way. I've never seen a coaching staff ever do this in the history of the Green Bay Packers, or honestly any other team, where they have a game within a game within a game, Yeah.
Holmes MD1 says 43 forced fumbles this season is the goal.
Built to ass.
There you go. All right. So, Emilio, what do you think? And plus, you comment on this Quay Walker video before I take it down too. My man is looking healthy, boys. Watch the ankles. The ankle was what was bothering him, right? They got that thing cleaned out. Watch the ankles, and you'll see him watch him spring off of it after he punches. Bang, bang, out. Looking good, Emilio.
Look at Welch. Welch just goes backward. Look at that.
That's it. The defense, your speed comes from the middle. I've talked about that before. The linebackers are going to be where the speed comes from. We got Coop. We can get Quay flying around too. We're going to be in business. I think that, love that his ankle's in good shape, and he just has so much power when he's coming downhill like that. Getting off blocks. He's not afraid to stick his nose in there. I'm ready for it. But Jacob, to that point, all these guys are competitive. They wouldn't be here if that wasn't it, right? So why not turn it into a competition of already, hey, I'm fighting this dude right over here on my team. He could be on my team. He could be on the other team, but we're both fighting for a roster spot. all right, I'm going to go out there and try to. I mean, if my score is going to help me, if whatever, because all those points you're scoring are benefits to the team, and that's just things that you need to be doing anyway. We'll just let's make it a little fun.
Yeah, I do the same thing at the office real quick. I incentivize them. At the end of the night, we have a competition. We dump out the buckets of dollars, and whoever wins, I steal the money, though.
Heard it from man right here.
I was going for this one, Emilio.
Pay that man his money.
We get it at the same time. Holmes MD1 says, I'm looking forward to Stack becoming a modern grave digger. We got a little bit more on him here in a minute. Listen, I've seen some people tweet out he's running with the ones a little bit. I've seen others saying he solidified himself with the twos. Regardless whether either one of those are true or both at certain points of the practice, he's rising up the depth chart. There's no doubt about it. Like that, they're looking at Nazir Stackhouse and going, "Holy cow!" Because the dude, I'm telling you, man, he's a grown ass man. And Jacob, that video that you sent me that you were just talking about, how excited he is. You could tell he's one of those guys that he's going to pick the room up, and it's not fake. It's just like this childlike faith, exuberance, just having fun, and he was all excited about the scoring system. Did
you actually watch? You got to watch a little bit of it?
Yeah, watch the whole thing. Yeah.
Didn't that kind of just get you like? I've never seen that type of coaching ever.
Yeah.
I've never even seen anything like it.
And you got to be able to connect with the thing that reminded me of was Nathaniel Hackett and the Gold Zone.
Gold Zone, yeah.
And the reason it doesn't matter how excited the coaches are, it doesn't matter how excited the fans are. It's how are the players going to respond. And to see Aaron Rodgers respond to the Gold Zone the way he did,
right.
Emilio, he looked like a little kid. He was so excited about it. He's like, he comes in with this and this is what Aaron said, this absolutely ridiculous gold member. Was that what he called him? Gold member, Goldfinger or something, character. And Coach Lynn, I love gold.
I like gold.
Absolutely awesome. So, and I'll say this too. When it comes to the players kind of embracing that, if they embrace it, right, and take it from the coaches and run with it, it's going to bleed into the fans too. Like Jacob's been excited about. I heard Jason Wilde, he's writing an article, and I can't wait to read that, writing on the Ball King, right? And you said the siren, Jacob. Every time they have a takeaway, right, there's going to be a siren.
Yes, sir.
Get that in Lambeau Field. When they do it in game, have it blaring over the speakers and just have it become a thing. And listen, I know we got some folks that want to enjoy the game and they want things to be kind of, hey, sit down, see all this. Blast that damn siren as loud as you can, dude. They should be able to hear it all the way down in freaking, I don't know, name some random Wisconsin
Chicago.
town.
They should hear it all the way in Chicago.
There you go. So, I think it's a great thing, and it's just something to help create a little bit more identity for the Packers. So, all right. Coach.
Kind of gives it a little bit of that college feel, right, Clay?
Honestly,
you get the whole crowd. I mean, and that would get me hyped up in the crowd. Are you kidding me? You get that siren going off, we get a turnover, everyone's screaming.
Yep.
Just steal the when they do in hockey, just that siren right there. That'd be perfect.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And this is a cool shot here. Mike Spofford said Xavier McKinney always first in line with the Packers safety drills. We're talking about these youngsters coming in, right? And we talked about Edgerrin Cooper kind of rising, throughout the season and becoming a star. And I'm excited to see year 2 for him. But kind of lost in the shuffle. What started this whole thing was Xavier McKinney. Jeff Hafley and Xavier McKinney have got this defense rolling in the right direction, and now you got everybody else at the bottom side of the roster, like a Nazir Stackhouse that may not even make the roster. Who knows, right? Right now it's looking pretty good, though, and it's early. But you got everybody kind of embracing this culture. And what I love in Xavier McKinney, he's not a real fiery guy. He's not a dude that's rah-rah, this and that. He's just going to go out there and take the damn ball away from the quarterback, right? He's going to pick passes off, and he's kind of that, I don't want to say quiet leader, but he's that calm demeanor leader, you know what I mean, in the locker room on the defensive side of the ball. And then you got Edgerrin Cooper, who's just this young freaking stallion out there running around doing things that we haven't seen a stack backer do in Green Bay in a long, long time. It's exciting for this defense, man. It really is. And another youngster here. Go ahead and read that if you want. No, don't read that, Jacob. What the hell's wrong with you, man?
Stand up, Emilio.
You got to be careful when you tell him to stand up. We do have the same shirt.
We're wearing the exact same shirt. Yeah. We planned it.
You'll have that.
Both of y'all shop at Baby Gap. That's awesome. All right. Got that schmedium on tonight. Both of you do. Ryan Wood tweeted out Pacers rookie. I think he meant Packers, by the way. Pacers rookie Baron Sorrell gets a sack on Malik Willis, and Rashawn Gary celebrates with him after the play. Good burst into the backfield. Another player we're talking about. Baron Sorrell, I try not to get like overly excited about anyone who's drafted out of the first 3 rounds because it's like, okay, this is going to be a project. But damn, if Goody can't hit on 4th-round picks, so boys. Talk about Zach Tom being a 4th-round pick. There was like 3 or 4 we listed off on one show. They were all, was Romeo Dobbs a 4th-rounder? Am I thinking right, guys?
Pretty sure. Yep.
Yeah, there were several of them. He's got kind of a track record.
Wasn't Bach a 4th-rounder?
I think Bach was a 4th. Now that would have been.
Yeah, it would have been.
That would have been Ted. But nonetheless, there's something about their scouting department, Emilio, where 4th round's kind of a sweet spot for them. For the longest time, 3rd round was a swing and a miss, right? But it seems like 4th round is where it kind of feels like go for the highly athletic dudes in the first 3 rounds and then go back to the tape, in the later rounds. I could be wrong there, but I'm excited about Baron Sorrell, man. I think he's going to be a stud.
I think he is too. I mean, you got a lot of potential there, coming from a big school, dude that shows up, cares what he's doing, cares, that this is his job. This is what he's going to do to provide for his family, all that. So let's go out there and try to absolutely crush it. I think he's got the speed, the power for it. I'm kind of excited to see what Half does there.
Yeah, and Jacob, I'm not sure if this was the same play or not, but Wes Hodkowitz put a similar tweet out, and it sounded a little bit different. Malik Willis has gotten the D-line to bite a few times on zone reads, but Baron Sorrell will not be fooled. Would have been a big tackle for a loss. We know him coming from Texas. That was a big thing with those Texas defenders. They were really, really big on stopping the run, right? So what do you think about Baron Sorrell? Do you think he's got a chance? I think he's going to be fairly heavy in this rotation in terms of the edge defensive room.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go on record saying that he's not an underdog, right? And he's not necessarily UDFA, obviously, or anything like that. But I do think that he maybe slid a little farther than most people would have thought, especially he was sitting there, at the actual draft, which was cool. We remember that moment. And the way that Matt LaFleur talks about him, and Matt LaFleur, maybe he'll have been known for some coach speak here and there, but not lately. He's pretty blunt about what he says about players and what he won't say about players. If he doesn't want to talk about a player, he'll just brush the comment off completely, almost to make you feel stupid for asking it. When anytime he has a chance to talk about Baron Sorrell, what has he said? He says he's a consummate pro already. I love the way he's preparing. He basically said there's no way he cannot succeed with the way that he's going about his day-to-day, professional career. He's done everything up until this point to succeed, I believe, is also what he said. I'm not going to just see that as a coach speak. I think that actually means that, he is going to be, maybe it's not this year, maybe it doesn't splash into the league or whatever, but I do think that the amount of just work ethic that kid has, and you watch the way that he's so emotional with his family, with his friends, with his teammates. Wasn't it Matthew Golden and someone else that said, like, basically everyone else, if you had to bring one teammate into the league with you, wasn't it like almost 90% of the whole team said, I'm taking Baron? With
everybody.
Everybody said everybody they interviewed from Texas. They asked that question to anyone they interviewed, but everyone from Texas, every single player said Baron Sorrell.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I potentially think he could be, stealing snaps from Mosby. I mean, from Enigbare. Yeah, it could be because we had Preston there at the beginning of the year, so there's going to be snaps that are moving around. I do think that he's going to be over 100. He's what, maybe 200 snaps, I could think, this year. So
yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. Michael Rodney at Packer Notes on X said, nice to see defensive tackle Nazir Stackhouse getting some reps with the 1s and 2s. The defense would really benefit if the undrafted rookie from Georgia can effectively replace TJ Slayton. Again, man, it's early, but we got a preseason game coming up next week. I'm going to be looking for Nazir Stackhouse, boys. That's who I'm going to be paying attention to. And it is he wearing 93? He is wearing 93, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. That is. Yeah. I get him and Brent's. I think Brent's 91, I believe. Preston Smith's old number. But Stackhouse wearing 93. Somebody confirm for me in the chat if Nazir Stackhouse is wearing 93. But that's another player I'm going to be looking at. Probably going to get a lot of reps in a preseason game for sure. So,
can I just real quick? So the last, we're talking about how we've been kind of striking gold the last few years. So obviously we got Baron Sorrell in the 4th. In 2024, it was Evan Williams. In 2023, it was Colby Wooden. And we didn't have, after that, it was Zach Tom. After that, we did not have a fourth in the 2021 draft, nor in the 2020 draft, nor in the 2019 draft. And okay, the streak breaks in 2018. We got Jamon Moore. But hey, I'm just saying, as of late, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, that first draft that Goody had where he took MVS and Jamon Moore, boy, that was ugly. It was almost like he shifted to like, all right, we gotta figure out how we missed so bad on these receivers. Mm-hmm. And it's got pretty darn good after that for sure. So
yep.
And it looks like we did get confirmation that he is number 93, I'm pretty sure. So Nazir Stackhouse, definitely somebody to pay attention to. Now, we've talked about Kalen King a little bit, and he showed up a little bit today. Wes Hawkowitz put a tweet out, good coverage from Kalen King to break up end zone fade for Malik Heath. Guys, you know Malik Heath, strong hands, had the highest catch rate over expected last year, according to NFL Pro on the entire Packers roster. So he made the most out of his limited opportunities. Kalen King, man, we need that dude. We need that dude to step up. That would be absolutely awesome if he's the guy coming off the bench in terms of the cornerback position. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would be happy for it just because he had that potential to be first round talent. Then it fell off. Then, you get a shot at him again. He's back here to prove it. You got some competition behind him with Haddon and everything. But I do think that even Bo getting over there and kind of putting some pressure on it, everyone's going to be fighting for that spot. And it's still a game to them, right? Let's get in on a pass breakup. Let's stay in this dude's, hip pocket, stay tight on the routes. I think that, every bit of this young talent that we can get succeeding is going to be huge for us. Obviously, we got a little bit older, but we have to stay young and stay active.
Yeah, definitely. And we had a question in the Patreon group here. Shout out to Tony Holman, since we were kind of talking about it. He says, does Bo make the 53 as a cornerback or as a special teams player? If you had asked me that a week ago, I would have been like, I don't think Bo's going to make the – man, it sounds like they really, really like Bo Melton to play cornerback this year. And, again, depth piece at corner, but still be that gunner on special teams. You guys, how do you feel right now, Jacob? Do you think Bo Melton makes the 53 if we were to have to pick today, or do you think we haven't seen enough from him at the cornerback position?
I think I'd be able to give you a much more definitive answer after the first or second preseason game, because I really do think they're going to give him a lot of opportunities. From what I can hear from, I don't think it's coach speak when we hear Hafley talk about him. Hafley, to his credit, I think is one of the most open-ended coaches that I've ever seen on the podium. He really does seem to take a moment to absorb the question and actually answer it in the best way that he can without spilling the tea too much. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I really do think he'll literally, even when I think it's a dumb question, he'll kind of take a second. He goes, that's a good question. I got to think about that. And then he'll literally give you an answer that's an answer. It's not just, we got a lot of high hopes for this guy, blah, blah, blah. He'll kind of specifically tell you what he does right or what he does wrong and why he likes him. When he specifically was talking about Bo, I've mentioned this a few times, the backpedaling, the reaction, the ball skills, the fact that he's been on the other side of the ball. And I believe, chat, let me know if I'm wrong. Somebody, I believe in the other episodes previous, said that he was a cornerback that they converted to wide receiver once he got to college. And if that's the case, it's not like he's just completely rewriting a book that he's never seen before.
Right.
I really have some hopes. And I think, is he going to be a starter barring injury? Probably not. But could he be a fourth or fifth string wide receiver that also is an absolute stud on special teams? You don't think Rich Bisaccia wants him on that squad? You don't think Rich Bisaccia has any sort of pull with this team? If you guys don't think that, your eyes are closed.
And Emilio, I think it was Jason Wilde said that Brian Gutekunst made a comment at his presser the other day that they actually thought about playing Bo Melton at corner when they scouted him. Like, hey, if we get him on the team, we can play him at corner as well. So this is something they've been thinking about for quite some time.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Goody was mentioning, I think we were talking about that last night, that 3-cone, the shuttle, all those abilities that you would want to see in a quarter he has. He can change his hips and all of that. I was just hitting some of those there. With Bo, we had Holmes, MD1, Bo's making the team as whatever. You can book that as well. H.E. Soder, an emergency wide receiver. William Herman, Bo is becoming that slash player. Does it all at this point. That's so true. And to this, Holmes, half as a DB coach, he's not telling tales out of school. Bo can play corner. I think all great points about it. and then just finishing that up. Ben, this has to be one of the toughest cuts of 53 in years.
It's always stress. I can only imagine how stressful it is for the coaches. But when you talk about Bo playing, I think somebody said that cover 3 cloud, him covering deep.
I love that play.
People forget Bo ran a faster 40 than Christian Watson. I mean, that dude, like, bro, it's not like he's just, okay, yeah, he's a one-trick pony or this or that. Remember when they put him out there at corner that first day? And you guys remember I brung the screen down to where you couldn't see people's jerseys, and we were just watching the feed. I was like, just watch the feed. Remember I said, like Rex Ryan, just look at the feed, okay? And lo and behold, it's like, who do you think was better? And everybody was like, oh, that dude, hands down. That's Bo Melton. It was his footwork in the cornerback drill that looked the best of anyone. So you never know, man. It might
cheese curds and my stomach hurt all the time, but I do eat them though.
Love it. So Rob Domofsky said practice number 8 highlights. You got one more there? He played corner in high school. And his brother obviously played corner throughout college, right? Max Melton. So practice number 8 highlights. Tight end John Fitzpatrick with his best catch at the camp. Made a sliding touchdown grab, sounds like. Defensive tackle Nazir Stackhouse moving up the depth chart, gets snaps with the 1. So